William Smith has called this camper home for the last 8 years on property that he owns. Now the city of Hartshorn is telling him, you got to pack it all up and find somewhere else to live.
The hookups were here, water, sewer, and electrics, everything was here. And so I just figured, since I'd already been living in my RV, it was, prime, it was paid for, and I got my property paid for, so I thought I was good to go for many, many years.
It's not quite the home many hope to retire in, but that's just what it is for William Smith after being a Navy radar engineer constantly moving around.
To get all my equipment on an airplane was not a thing that you could really do.
He tinkers in his garage on the property, the main reason he bought the land, and generally keeps to himself. So the veteran was surprised when he got a visit from the cops.
A police officer knocked on my door and handed me the eviction notice.
It said he had 120 days to relocate because a recreational vehicle, travel trailer, or camper no longer specifies as a structure for permanent living in the city limits because of a new ordinance the city council passed. The city's reasoning? The preservation of the public peace, health, and safety.
They told me there's no provision for grandfather clause or anything that would allow me to stay here.
And although some may be concerned with property value, all of Smith's neighbors say they'd much rather live next door to a camper with a well-kept yard than an abandoned house like this one. Now the retired veteran is left in limbo, trying to figure out his next move in life.
I bought the place so I could, retire here and work in my garage, do my piddling and all my projects and all that. So if I have to roll this thing out, well, I really have no other home.
In Hartshorn, Travis Guillory, 2 Works for You.
I haven't taken it more than like 100 miles out though yet.
We first met William Smith 2 weeks ago when he got an eviction notice from the city of Hartshorn because of an ordinance the city council recently passed.
If I have to roll this thing out, well, I really have no other home. Homeless.
The ordinance says it's no longer legal to live in a travel trailer, camper, or RV on your own property, even if you own the land, like Smith has for the last 8 years.
The hookups were here, water, sewer, and electrics, everything was here. And so I just figured, since I'd already been living in my RV, it was, prime, it was paid for, and I got my property paid for, so I thought I was good to go for many, many years.
Smith was an engineer in the Navy, constantly moving around in what he calls home, a place he hoped to retire in. We interviewed Smith and posted the story online. It was shared more than 8,000 times across the country and viewed nearly 400,000 times. Hartshorn City Hall became inundated with phone calls, prompting the city clerk to reach out to Smith.
Would you be willing to come to speak with myself and the mayor? And I said, yeah, sure. I sort of been wanting to do that anyway.
Basically, we just sat down and I assured him that I just wanted to know about his situation.
Mayor Joy Klein says Smith provided all of the paperwork for his property, including documents from the Pittsburgh County assessor, who assessed the property as a single-family residence and was filed as a homestead exemption.
For every year thereafter, he has been paying taxes on the property and his living dwelling.
After speaking with several other council members, the mayor came to a conclusion.
I feel like that this gentleman should be grandfathered in.
Now the council still has to vote on this next month, but if they do shut it down, Smith has a backup plan thanks to a local lumber yard.
They offered now, if this doesn't work out, to come in free of charge and make a little apartment in the back of the garage there, including providing some appliances.
So that the veteran can live out his retirement the way he wants, thanks to a story and thousands of voices rallying behind him.
It not only helped it, I think it's the major factor. You doing all this and then coming back. I can't thank you enough for what you've done.
In Hartshorn, Travis Guillory, 2 Works for You.